Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's live stream. I am going to be feeding them, and with the time I have, this will be only probably a very brief one, but I will make sure to stream it for probably about an hour and see how these guys are getting on. Shortly after I fed them. I had to get everything ready for the past 30 minutes, so that's why it took a bit long. But I'm just getting their food now. The reason why I've got the curtains closed is because because the light tends to reflect onto the glass of the fish tank. So I'm just going to signal fire everybody to tell everybody to come back to the top. Where's Mr. Blue? Come on, Blue, where are you, buddy? Oh, there you are, coming out from the bottom. Come on, bud. It's feeding time. So I regularly do about 3 times a week, basically every meal time. So it just lets their body basically sort themselves out. So it doesn't, affect their stomachs and swim bladders and stuff like that. So if you're wondering why I do about 2 spoonfuls of shrimp food, as well as bottom feeding and other stuff like that, is because there's a lot of them. Unfortunately, we did lose a few over time, but I'm talking fish here, but that was only one from, I think it was 2 from the cardinals. Yeah, there's about 4 here. Yeah, there's 4 here. Sorry, I'm just double checking. Yeah, there's 4 here, and basically there's 4 rummies, which is fine. But I've noticed that we've lost a few guppies along the way too. So a bit gutting, really. But I'm gonna bring this down on my tripod so you guys can see them a bit better while they're feasting on their little meal. So, like I say, this is probably going to be the only stream for this month, but I will see if I can get the time to do it. Not because, there's that I have to, do certain things and etc. I mean, December's mostly the most difficult time of year for me because, I have to focus on a lot of stuff, and for the past few months I've had to focus on more than I normally would, and it's been a bit of a frustration of having to cope with it, but at the same time it doesn't really surprise me all that much because for the past few years I've had to deal with personal life stuff. I've had to do that. But I'm not going to go into it because, it's just not appropriate for me to explain it. But yeah, these guys are doing really, really well. I'm really chuffed that they're doing great, actually. I'm very proud of how they're getting on. So for those who can see chat, which is basically, so I'm assuming this is, yes, I thought this who I thought it would be. Hello, Sylvia Toms. So Sylvia is basically someone who I've known for a long time, and she's watched the live stream for a very, very long time, and she's always the first person to watch when I send streams over to her. So welcome to the stream, Sylv. I'm sure you don't know how to use the chat, but it's fine. You don't have to. But yeah, so Yeah, so everybody, welcome to the stream. I know it's only just 2. The reason why I've got 2 is because I'm actually managing the broadcast by looking at the chat and everything else like that. So you might be hearing me, you know, doing a few things with the chat and yeah, things like that. So nothing too different really. So you might hear me like on my laptop occasionally. Here we go. Yeah, so I've put the chat rules up. So if anybody wants to chat with me, yeah, feel free. But yeah, Blue's active. He's around. You can't see him at the minute because he's not on. He's not in view of my camera. But oh, he's actually facing off against those shrimp. I love it because, like, so this is one of my 2 of my female shrimp, which is basically an amano species. That looks like Bruce and a female, yeah. So the reason why I call him Bruce is because it's an ongoing joke with, like, between myself and staff who I live with, and well, the staff don't live with me, but you know, but the ones I work with basically just have like an ongoing joke between myself and people about it, and yeah, it's just nice to see them getting along with me and watching the fish as well. She's very much enjoying her meal, for what I can see. So those little arms that you're seeing touching the food, that's actually her claws. So basically they're picking off some bits of the food and they're actually putting them into their little mouths, which if you see very carefully on the picture, which I'm just going to zoom in so you guys can see what I mean. So if you see like this little thing that is constantly moving inside their mouth, that's actually their teeth constantly moving. So that's them actually eating on a very quick rate. So basically their mouth is like moving at I don't know how much speed, but it must be like the same speed as probably like I don't know, probably like a motor in a car, basically, like when it starts up and things like that. So like, you know what I mean? So like that's how I've always seen it. But yeah, it's quite sweet to watch animals like that just doing things like this. I mean, it's one of my favourite things, watching broadcasts and videos about fish that not many people actually realise that are actually crucial to, you know, nature. So right now, we've got our beautiful little guppies swimming around. I'm just getting them into view so you guys can see them. And then we've got our emperor in front of us. So he's, I think that looks like, yeah, that looks like one of the females. Where's the male exactly? Because he's the one that's the nuisance. He's a bit of a, he tends to chase everybody, basically, if that makes sense. I mean, it probably is actually him. Because there is actually a fair few matriarchs in this tank. But I can see Blue, he's back at the deep sea diver again. With Bruce, as I can tell. So Bruce is the smaller shrimp. So basically, biologically, Bruce is a male. I know it sounds a bit silly when I say that, but basically, shrimp are like males and females. Males are actually smaller than the females, which is ironic. But basically, females contain more eggs, so you're looking at like probably about around 4,000 eggs. So if you see like little bits and bobs in the back of their bodies, that's not for show. That's actually eggs. But I don't think they actually are alive, because by now they would have actually released them. But I don't think they would release them, especially with like all the little shrimp that is basically that is in there, especially with all the fish, because fish will actually eat brine, basically. So brine is basically shrimp eggs, basically, and that is actually food for many species. So, you know, that's how I know a lot about it. But the really sweet thing is, there's one. There's a female. Now, here's a good example. So, if you look at the shrimp between each other, so that one is a female right next to Bruce. That's how big she is compared to the male. Yeah, so it's crazy, isn't it? So the boy and the girl do that. So basically, when they shed their shells, which basically is like a lobster, basically, but on a smaller scale. But basically, they're crustaceans, and when they get bigger and stronger and much, much wider, they have to shed their skin, which not many people would realise this, but we actually are shedding our skin. We shed it over time because we have to shed dead skin off our body, and that's how it works. So the skin basically regenerates over time, whereas the shrimp, on the other hand, doesn't. They have to shed their whole body off just so they can get their new shells ready, so they can actually, you know, grow. I mean, that is actually a true fact, because I know this because this morning I saw that. So that thing here that you're seeing on your screen, the little white blob, or that white thing on the bottom, right beside, in between the sign and the basically the artificial wood, is actually a shrimp shell. I'm not kidding. That is actually a shrimp shell, and that's not Snoopy, unfortunately. That's one of the babies, but I think Snoopy's doing her own thing at the moment. But yep, that is a true shrimp shell. So so that is actually a true fact right there. So I'm going to see what Blue's up to, because sooner or later I need to go off and do some stuff privately, but I'll be setting the tank up shortly, so you guys can see what these guys get up to during the day. I'll put it into a special visual location. Oh, hello, Blue. You coming over to investigate me? You come and say hi. You just came over just a second ago, funny enough. So not many people don't realise this, and I argue about this with every single person that comes to contact me and say that fish have no personalities, as well as other animals. I have experienced firsthand that fish do have personalities, and it's basically a way of intelligence. Intelligence basically makes them have personalities. Every single animal has a personality. The only reason why people actually think they don't have personalities is because they just haven't seen it for themselves, but also they just think that fish don't have personalities. I mean, the one thing I will argue is that when it comes to goldfish, for example, goldfish basically have this behavior to basically eat everything. But when they try to basically talk about a species, and they did something really, really impressive. I actually was pretty impressed when I saw this shrimp, or sorry, this crustacean of an octopus. Basically, I think crustacean's the wrong word, but basically the point I'm trying to say is, basically, the fish recognised who they were. And that's a form of intelligence. But also, they know who fed them. Which, that's exactly what my fish do. So when my fish come and say hi to me, they come and greet me, and they actually get curious. So right now, my little emperors are actually getting curious of my camera, which is my phone. So that's what I'm saying. So like a lot of people don't realise how intelligent these little fellas are, and they're all from the Amazon rainforest, which is crazy. Which is crazy, because that is actually a true fact. So these little fellas are actually all from the rainforest, from Amazon. Not the website, but the actual rainforest itself. Because there's actually a really true fact. It's because they have this... they basically are from the Amazon rainforest. That is what it is. They are from that world. They are actually from that. That's that little world that they live in. So, you know, that it's not a bad thing, as I say. It's a good thing because you can see fish basically from different countries that mimic the same behavior. Now, the one that is chasing right now is the male. He's a bit of a nuisance. I call him Mr. Nuisance because he's a nuisance anyway, which people are going to find that funny. But basically, this is a fish that it's just basically a pecking order. It's the same with like how we see ourselves in nature. So we do the same by basically, you know, keeping everybody in line. It's the same with a hierarchy, it's just we don't see it in that way. I see fish in a way of basically looking at their behaviours, and we don't give them... We don't do very kindly to their kind as species as a whole. We are very, very territorial, and we're very, very, you know, we're very mean to nature, and I think that's what people need to remember. So if you're taking away beautiful animals just like this, you're taking away their home. And this is what I want people to understand. It's not just because the fish are gorgeous, it's because, you know, it reminds me of nature, but also it reminds me of the good times that I have with my little friends that I have. But unfortunately, I need to head on off. But you are more than welcome to watch the stream, and I'll be putting this on mute for the time being, or I'll just basically just leave this on. But I'll let you guys. I mean, to be fair, I'll be going out in like half an hour, so I need to get moving. But yeah, look, one of my emperors is actually showing actual signs of intelligence, and that is curiosity. Not many people see that, and that is what my point is. And if they're feeling chilled, which this one is, and I think this is a female. Yeah, it looks like a female. Yeah, they're happy. But right, I'm gonna leave you guys to it. But feel free to ask me some questions, and I'll answer them once I get back. So, see you guys shortly. So hello everybody, I just came back, but I am expecting people to come here, so I'm going to be putting this stream on mute for the time being. It's just so when they come over, I don't want them to get frustrated if I'm like using my phone, and they can have their voice heard, so I don't want to get into trouble, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'll speak to you guys soon, but I'll do that before the end of the stream. So, see you shortly.